Hello everybody. So I'm going to show you guys how to assemble the selfie stick today. So in Onshape, once you sign in Documents, you're going to see Teams, you're going to see All Company Users, and in All Company Users, you're going to see the selfie stick. This is a view-only studio. You go to the stack, copy workspace, and then change your name, or the copy to your name. From here, I'm going to be referencing back to this document here that is inside of Schoology, and I'm going to be talking about basically how this thing should go together. I zoomed in a lot just so you guys could see what I'm dealing with, but this will show you exactly what piece goes where. It's kind of your job after you watch this video to use the correct joints, but in a nutshell, this is how this piece is going to go together, or this assembly. The first thing I would do once I make a copy is focus on this little piece called a shoe. You want to make a copy of the shoe, so I'm going to go and click it, and it'll highlight it over here if you can't find the name. Right click and go to copy, and then just click in the open space in the open studio here and right click again and paste shoe. It'll bring it in here, and you're going to need two of these. You'll see over here now that it comes in as an acronym, a little 2 here, or abbreviation, I should say. After that, if you look at the assembly, this purple piece really doesn't move. It stays there, it stays in one place, and everything else kind of moves around it. So what we're going to do is we are going to make this purple part, which is called the stick adapter, fixed. And what that does is it forces, and we're going to right click on it and just press fix. And once I try and move it, it will not move. Now you'll see all these other parts. If I hold down left click, you can move these any direction you want. If you click on it once, you can use these to rotate objects and all that kind of jazz. But I just want you guys to understand that we're going to want to keep one piece completely fixed so that the other pieces around it will adapt. So after I've made that fix, and you can see this little symbol if I've done it, or if you've done it correctly, it says part is fixed. You'll see that that part won't be able to move. We've made our copy. Now we can start putting stuff together. It's totally up to you guys on how and when and what parts you want to put in first. I'm going to start from the purple, work my way down. So you'll see here, I have the purple piece here. I'm going to put the orange piece inside of the yellow piece, and then the yellow piece and the orange piece connected into the bottom of the purple. And then I'm going to put this little shoe, as you can see, inside that purple, and then we'll fixture this all piece in a sec here. So again, like I said, I'm going to try and put the orange into the yellow first. And there is no perfect science to this. It's more of a, kind of plug and play kind of system here. The joints are up here like you guys have seen in the videos. So it's important that you use the correct joint. In this case, we want this piece, this end piece, to go inside the bottom of our stick adapter here. So we're going to put the stick top inside the stick adapter, and we want that to stay solid. So we're going to come up and see fasten mate, and we want this piece, again through the videos you'll see these little nodes pop up, and I'm just moving my mouse over the object. We're going to pick this base of this pin, and then we're going to select the inside, or the base here. We're going to select the center of this. And as you can see, it'll go in some cases, the wrong way, and it kind of looks all funky. You can just press this little arrow here, and it'll flip the orientation and allow you to be able to show the correct way. And it even shows you that the pin is inside that piece. Press the green check mark. And as you see now, if I press play, nothing's going to happen. It's not going to move. It's not going to do anything because we used a fasten mate. It shouldn't move, and that's the correct orientation. That's the correct motion that we want, animation. The next thing, and I'm going to close this. It should show up here. I am going to put this basic, it's called a stick bottom, into the stick top, and we want this to slide in and basically around this other top. So we're going to use a slider mechanism, slider fastener, and again we're going to come in here, and we want, you see how you can, and it shows the preview of the inside of this tube here, and that's what we want. So we want that to go in and around this object. And you can see I just clicked the middle portion of that. And I can even rearrange it, do whatever I need to do, but I can also press this little play button and it'll show what it's going to do and how it's going to move. So I'm going to press the green check mark here, and then I'm going to close the slider too. And now you can see you can physically move this. Now you can move it like past, you know, obviously I'll teach you guys a little bit later down the road how to fix that so it doesn't do that. But for now, we're just going to position it kind of where it's supposed to be. So again, if I go back here, they put it almost completely to the top. So I'll move it right about here. The next thing is I'm going to put in either one of the shoes in the side. They're identical, so it doesn't really matter which one you put. This should be fixed inside of here, so we're going to use, again, a fasten mite, and we're going to do the base of this into the hole here. And as you can see, it's fastened there. We can press the one green check mark and the X to get out of that command and the fasten command. The next piece, as you can see here, is going to be working on this top portion. And I zoomed into this top portion so you guys could see it. I would put it together as it would go together in the real world. So I'm going to put this blue piece basically in first to the red piece. So as you see here, those things should slide. It is a sliding mechanism. You can get it into the position. And if you look close enough, you'll see that this is basically a cylinder that this should be able to slide into. So we're going to go to a slide. I want the red to go into the blue. And as you can see, it should work. Press the green check mark. You can press the play to see it move. If you right click over slider and then go to animate, you'll be able to see and press play it move in and out. But don't worry about that. You can then just kind of move these. Now, this is another reason I want to show you. If we didn't, and you can see that I've only fixed the purple part. You can see that it's very difficult. If I try and move this, you can see this kind of goes wonky. If I try and move the red, it kind of goes wonky. You can see how it's difficult for these pieces to animate as they would in the real world if one piece is not fixed. So just be careful and don't get frustrated too quickly. It's once we put the whole thing together, it'll work a lot smoother. So you'll see there's a little hole on the bottom of this as well. That's where this base thing goes, and it's base thing. It is called a shoe top. So the shoe top is what I'm going to put on the bottom of this first, and that just stays still. So I'm going to choose the top of that into that hole right there. And you should see that it works fine. Press the green check mark, press the X, and again, those pieces are now connected into one, as well as the sliding mechanism here. Now we're going to fasten and make sure that this shoe top is going to stay on there. So we're going to use this other little shoe to push it in so we can lock that mechanism in. So we're going to go to fasten. We're going to use the base of this shoe into that hole, and you can see it's not the right direction. We can press the primary axis to flip it, and it should work. Press the green check mark, press the red X. And now that piece is locked in, it's not going anywhere. And if I zoom out, you'll be able to see that the rec mechanism slides in as well while these are being fixed. The next piece is kind of the harder of any of them. And this is where this piece will, again, lock in, but at the same time, it needs to basically have a revolute, which is a different one that we haven't used yet, a revolute mate that goes through this. So if you see really close, it kind of traps in. It goes around the gray piece, as you can see there, that shoe bottom, the shoe top. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put that green piece on there first because that is fastened into it, and we're familiar with those. So I'm going to go and press this middle portion, and I want that middle portion to go underneath the shoe. Now you can see that this is obviously the wrong orientation. If I zoom in, the green is going into the gray, which is not what we want. So we can reorient the axis itself, and we can kind of move this thing around. So we're going to come here to reorient, and what it does is it rotates it, which is exactly what we're trying to make it do. And it would squeeze in real life around that piece, but obviously for the sake of just seeing how this is going to go together, it doesn't go in and around completely. It's just to give a demonstration. So we rotate that around, press the green check mark, and this is what it's supposed to look like. I realize that there's a gap, there's a little tolerance here. Just for the sake of practice, that's good enough for this one. I'm going to press the X to get out of that specific fasten command. And the last thing you can see now, this moves around. I know it moves past. Again, we'll talk about how to fix that later. But once we're done and we have these two pieces, and again, this should slide, but this shouldn't move. This shouldn't move. These pieces are still kind of, on their own, free flowing. So we're going to insert this green piece along with a revolute command or a revolute mate, so that this selfie stick can rotate. So what we're going to do is we're going to select revolute. We're going to go and we want this inside diameter to go around this piece here. And you'll see again that piece is inside. We don't want that. So we're going to select, and this is why I waited to the end to do this one. We're going to say offset. And we are going to, as you can see, it's on the Z axis that we need to make it move. So we can literally, you can see the rotation. We want to move this, let's say 0.2. Let's see what direction that goes. I'm going to press enter. So it still goes a little too much. Let's say 0.15. And these are, you can obviously just take my numbers, but I'm just playing to see what would fit perfectly. So there's going to be a gap on both sides. That's okay. 0.15 seems to work really well. I can press the green check mark. I can press the X. And if I wanted to see all this move, now it's all together, the red's all connected, it's moving. You can see now that as I rotate this around, the red still goes through the blue, I know, but the red will go outside. I apologize for the baby crying. You'll see that basically this will rotate like a real selfie stick. This will open and close. This will be able to rotate, and we should be good to go. So just to kind of show you, and again, how this thing goes together. Ask your questions towards your teacher if they have any. If you guys have anything else, glad for listening, or thanks for listening.